How many of you have been to the Charleston, Mount Pleasant, Daniels Island area in South Carolina? Well, a lot of you may have visited for vacation. Charleston is known for their food and beautiful homes, but today we are talking to the expert in all of Charleston, Mount Pleasant, Daniel Island, James Island, you name it. My friend Carmilla. Hello, how are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me in that awesome introduction.
Oh, thank you. Listen, everyone who's been to Charleston loves the food, the atmosphere, the environment, the hospitality. It's amazing, and you are so lucky to live there. So today we're going to talk about all things Charleston area. And I know you were, basically born and raised there, I guess, original Charlestonian. Is that what they're called?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Well, you tell us who you are, a little bit about your real estate journey, and then, tell us about you. What do you like to do? Your family? Just tell us anything you want, okay?
Okay, good. All right, fine. So, thank you for having me, Jennifer. This is really fun for me because I love telling people about how I got started in real estate, just a little bit about me, born and raised here in Charleston. It was definitely different for me growing up, from what it is today. Charleston, growing up, I hated it. I wanted to move away. Because it was definitely, Southern, very slow. And as a child growing up in the 70s, it was it was different. So early 70s.
I
So
don't
yeah,
believe it. Stop lying.
yeah, so it was different for me, but now I do appreciate what people love about Charleston. And I talk to clients and they're like, I ask them, why are you moving to Charleston? Like, what's bringing you here? They're like, oh, the trees, the beaches, and I'm like, things that I never really embraced in Charleston. It's like, okay, I understand now why it's a great place. And hey, I had never moved away. I've always been here. My family is here. My grandchildren are here. So I it's my home, really.
You're not a grandmother. And if you don't stop lying, we're going to stop this interview right now.
I keep forgetting that I don't. I love my grandkids. I think it's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever. If I could have skipped the children and went right to the grandchildren, I probably would have.
Oh, I
But
hope they're not
yes, I do.
watching.
Yes, I know. I do have two grandchildren, two little girls, and yeah. So my whole family is here. But I got into real estate about 16, 17 years ago. And my background was health and beauty. I owned salons here in the area, and I was really ready to do something different. So most of my career in real estate, I was both real estate and hairstylist.
Mm.
Um, but when COVID hit was when I transitioned full time to real estate because, as you know, a hairstylist was not essential. And I
Mhm.
was getting out of the business anyways. So I went full time COVID in real estate, but I had always done well because I knew a lot of people from being here. So it was an easy transition for me to get into real estate full time. And here I am today. I love it.
And here you are with a team, super successful, selling the lifestyle to so many people, either coming there for leisure or, investing or wanting to, retire, right?
Yes, it's definitely a great area for all of that. Retiring, I have a lot of second home buyers and clients, beach clients. It's I guess it's for everyone. So especially if you want to escape from the cold weather, and because of course it doesn't really get cold here. Even though we did have snow last year, we got snow as well, which was fun. But I was ready for it to go. But people love the weather here, so I'm always talking to out of state clients that are interested in moving to Charleston because of those aspects that we offer. Yeah.
Yes, and I wanted to mention, and I should have in the beginning, that you are part of Keller Williams Luxury, which, so you do work with a lot of those luxury clients in your area, and there are a lot of places where there are luxury properties in your area, luckily. Of course, downtown Charleston, and what other cities, do you serve? Because of course I mentioned Mount Pleasant, Daniel Island, and I believe you live there, right?
Yes, yes, I live on Daniel Island. But for the areas you mentioned, there are a lot of luxury, and in luxury, the price point's different in different areas. I think ours is like 1.1 or something like that, considered luxury. But I am the person that I always say I'm bringing a luxury experience at any price point. So I really treat all of my clients like they're luxury, and so they get the same experience that I would give someone that's a million plus. My 250,000 or even lower gets the same experience. But here in the area, there's like James Island and Johns Island. There's a lot of islands, Guatemala Island. So Isle of Palms, those areas are yield a higher price points. And so I work in all those areas. My family is all over this area here in South Carolina. So for me to tell them, oh, I can't work this area, or I don't go this area, they would be like, what? Are you serious? Who are you? So I work all the areas. I don't mind driving because we drive here. So
Yes,
yeah.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's funny, a little story. I remember when I was in high school, I wanted to go to Johnson and Wales so bad. Okay. Now, I drove with a friend, I think, all the way to Charleston. It was such a long drive. And I remember going over this tiny bridge from Charleston to Mount Pleasant. And I know in my heart, you can't tell me different. It was swaying a little bit. And I've
Yeah.
never been so scared in my life. And then that bridge is gone, right?
Gone. Yes, it's gone. It's another bridge now. But yes, I remember. It's crazy because I remember where that bridge, of course, if a car would break down, you're screwed. It's yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. And it did sway a ton because of how high it was. And if it's windy, you would feel it moving. Yes.
I just remember being so terrified because I was driving in high school and I said, I will never do this again. I don't know if I want to go here for college. I did not go there, but only because I couldn't afford it.
Well, you would be surprised because the new bridge, some people are afraid to travel over the new bridge. So I'm
Oh.
like, if you had the old bridge, you wouldn't be afraid of this new bridge. It's way better.
No, I was going to say it's very sturdy and people run on it and walk on it. You have a lot of events there.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the market. And I know that each area has a little bit different market, Charleston and suburbs, but in general, what's the market like in your area?
So our medium home price point is around the 460, 470 range, but I'm on the calls with James, and so I hear what people are saying all over because there's so many people on that call in different areas, and it's very similar. We get multiple offers on some properties. We get properties that are sitting. It's all comes down to condition and location and price. Number one, price. So I could tell you I probably have about 10 to 15 buyers agency agreements signed that I'm working with these buyers. And they're so picky. It's like it's hard for them to get them off the fence of committing to a property. And then I have my sellers. I have about maybe 10 listings right now. I'm trying to get more listings because James says get listing heavy. But if they're not priced accordingly, then they are going to sit. So I find that the market is very similar to everyone else across the board. What they're going through, I see it here as well. Yeah.
Yes, the pricing is so important, and I just really wish people would realize that how important that is. So, for example, what do you think is the average days on the market in your area?
So they were running about 60 days on the market. But like I said, if they're priced right, they are going within 7 days, full price. Within
Okay.
7 days, full price. And after that, it's like price reduction, price reduction, price reduction. So that one call that James did on with two people on it, I can't remember their names, but that
Hmm.
pricing that is amazing. I did a video around that for my clients to let them to explain to them what's going on in the market. And I think that that video was so helpful for me and what to expect. So now I'm using the four matrix in my
Yes,
updates with my sellers so that they can understand that, it's not me, it's the market. And it's telling us a story, it's telling
exactly.
us something. So, yes.
Oh, so smart. And you were right. That call was amazing. And gosh, it's so helpful for our clients. So I'm so glad we got to listen to that.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of mentioned in the beginning, people are moving to Charleston for various reasons. They're coming, a lot of people maybe want a second home and they're thinking, well, how about Charleston? There are probably a lot of investors, and I'll let you talk about that might want to invest. And, you do have College of Charleston there and medical, you have maybe traveling nurses and things like that need maybe midterm housing or short-term housing. And then, I'm sure obviously you have first time buyers who are in your area and they're looking talk a little bit about each one of those segments if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely have the college students here. And what I've been explaining to my clients is, if you have a college student here, instead of you paying rent for them, why don't you buy an investment property and then let them rent it out to them and their college friends? And so I talk and I share videos around this. Like anytime I think of something that I feel people should know, I will do a video and I will do a YouTube video. And then I send it to my clients just to put in their heads that if you're paying, and the college is expensive here, and if you're paying for a rental for your son or your daughter to go to college here, maybe think about it doing an investment property and renting it to them. So that's one avenue that with the college students because it's expensive. And then, of course, investors come here, they want to buy, get a good deal, but you definitely have to, a lot of the investors are looking for the fixer uppers, the ones where they could put some equity into it. And we do have a ton of that. And one of my clients actually just bought one downtown Charleston near MUSC because her idea is because it's so close to MUSC that she
Mm,
can rent it out to those students. It's a fixer, but it's in downtown Charleston.
mm.
So, and I work with all these buyers. I work with first time buyers, second time buyers. I work with sellers. I work with all these different types of clients. But I listen to them and find out what their goal is and what they're trying to accomplish when they are coming to Charleston to purchase, are coming to Charleston for work. Because some of the MUSC students, they are not here to stay. But I let them know that it could be a good investment property for them. And I have an awesome program with a lender that I use. It's a doctor loan. So they get 0% down on
Oh, wow.
financing if they're even in residency. So I go to this MUSC and the other medical doctors, the other hospitals, and I talk to them about purchasing as an investment versus them renting since they're going to be here.
Wow. Now that is smart. That is smart. Hey, maybe I need to do that around some of our universities.
Yes, you should because I have a connection with Trident, a very good friend of mine. She's a doctor and she purchased with me. And so now I get to present in front of all of her residents because even residents qualify for this loan. So they don't even have to
Wow.
be full doctor. They can be just in school as a resident and they can qualify for the doctor loan. So I go there and I present to them. And right now I have 3 buyers that I'm working with from me doing an event last in November at the hospital.
Wow. Okay, that's a good idea. So let me ask you real quick. Um, if you do have any people who are retiring, of course, coming to Charleston, what areas do you feel are the most popular for people who are coming to retire or buy second home?
Okay, so a lot of them flock to the 55 plus communities.
Mm.
I've had several that goes to the 55 plus communities because I guess because the activities and they're around their age group. And then a lot of them like to be near the water. So I find that mostly they will go to like the James Island, John's Island, because getting into Mount Pleasant is a bit more pricey for them to be closer to the water. So now you're looking more into the 8, 9 to million plus range. Whereas if they're older, 55 plus, sometimes they go to Summerville to the 55 plus community because there's so many amenities there.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes a lot
they
of
love
sense.
it.
And that's what, maybe a 30-minute drive to
Yep,
Charleston.
not far at
Okay,
all. Yes, about a 40-minute
awesome.
drive. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, traffic, I guess, right?
Yes, yes,
Um,
absolutely.
so what do people, love about Charleston? If say someone's watching this video and they've never been, what are just a few things that people love about your city?
Okay, for one, they always talk about the weather. I can tell you we have a festival for everything. So there's always something going on. There's the wine festival, the shrimp festival, you name it, there's a festival. There's a lot of breweries here. So people love to drink here. There's a lot of bars and restaurants. So the funny thing that I always say is, especially when I find people coming from like New York, bigger cities, and they
Mhm.
are very fit and they work out. I'm like, okay, be careful because the food and beverage scene here is really tough and you could gain some weight. And so
Oh,
I tell them this all the time. And then when I see them later, I'm like, oh, Charleston's getting to you because the
okay,
food
okay.
scene is amazing here. The people just love it. It's hard to stay in shape.
Well, how do
So
you stay like a model? How do you
tough.
stay like a model, born and raised? Because let me tell you something. I could eat everything in sight there. It's insane. The food is so good.
It is, it is. So that's one of the things that people love. They love the food and beverage scene here. They love the beaches and they love the weather. So I think that it's definitely a place you should put on your bucket list if you haven't visited, just to check it out. And I can't say when is the best time. I can tell you it's very hot in July and August. So steamy hot. So you might want
Oh,
to,
too
yeah, it's
hot.
steamy hot.
Okay, unless you're at the beach. And this kind of goes into the kind of final question. So, you're saying it's very, very hot in the summer, and it is. Oh my goodness. So if someone's moving from out of state, say someone's moving from New England down, because that seems to be a popular move, people that live in New York or
Yes. Yes.
Massachusetts coming down. What's one thing or something you'd want buyers to know? Um, to take and to have in mind when they're moving down, if they're thinking about moving to your area?
Okay, so depending on the time frame, right? If you're moving to Charleston and it's spring, summer time, I would say be mindful of we have 4 seasons in one day. So pack pack for early morning, you might need a jacket, then you may just layer and take off throughout the day. I would say always have some bug spray or something because the mosquitoes are and the no-see-ums are really, really bad.
Okay,
But I think
okay.
yes, but I think that it's good to explore. I would tell people to explore the areas because I know that there's popular areas when you Google Charleston, there's popular
Mhm.
areas that pop up, but we have some really nice areas that's not as popular as the Google search would say. So I would say explore. And people ask me all the time, like, where do specific groups go? Well, I would say, there's a group for everything. There's a group for every
Yeah.
type of person. You just got to find, just like how in real estate we find our niche, you just have to kind of find the groups that you like to be a part of. I am a big tennis player. So
Mhm.
anytime someone is coming to town and they ask me about tennis, I know exactly where to send them. The different tennis courts and the different areas that are familiar with fluent with tennis players. So I would tell them, figure out what it is that you like to do, and then I can help you find your people for sure.
Exactly. Well, now I'm going to ask you a few little fun questions. And so here we go.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the mountains or the beach?
Beach, of course.
Of
I like
course.
hot weather.
Yeah. Dogs or cats or none?
Dogs, cats. I'm scared of cats. They're vicious.
Listen, and they're kind of grumpy.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Do you prefer a text or a phone call?
I prefer a video text over any. I like to
Hmm.
because I feel like a phone call is like I can hear your voice, yes, but a video text I could see your facial expressions when you're talking to me.
Mhm.
So I
Okay, I like it. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I get up at 5, so I
So
am
your
early.
husband's a night owl. So that means your husband must be a night owl.
Oh, he
Or
gets
no?
off with
Okay.
me.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
I always feel like it's the opposite because I'm an early bird. My husband wants to be a night owl. Okay. And if you could go anywhere on vacation now, if you asked us, we would go where you live, but anywhere on vacation, where would you go?
Darn. I would pick any place tropical and warm. Like I definitely want to go to Mexico because I haven't been. I know it might not be the best, safest place, but any place warm, I want to go. I want to go warm.
Listen, I want to go to Mexico City so bad because I heard the food is out of this world. I've been on a cruise, so I've been to Mexico like at the port, but
Yeah.
I would love to go explore. We'll go. We'll go someday. Maybe.
I like tequila, so I want to try different tequilas. That's my go-to thing, tequila. So I want to try different tequilas.
Listen, I like what you're putting down. Um, Friends, if you want to deal with one of the most amazing people in this world, and I can say that because I talk to this beautiful lady every single Friday morning. So, if you want to work with the best of the best in Charleston and the surrounding areas, my friend, this is the person you need to connect with. If you want more information about Charleston or Mount Pleasant, Daniel Island, any of those areas that she talked about, just reach out to me and I'll give you her information. But thank you so, so much. You're so fun, and I love talking to you, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Jennifer. This was an honor. I so appreciate it.
Thank you.